Welcome to the explainer. Okay, get this. Imagine a crypto project that pulls in $500 million in trading volume before it's even live. That's exactly what we're talking about today. We're going to unpack the story of the Midnight mainnet and a project called Pulse to figure out how in the world did they build up that much hype. So let's just zero in on that number for a second. $500 million. And to be clear, that's not the project's valuation or anything like that. No, that was the trading volume for its token. And the crazy part? This was all happening while the network it was supposed to run on was still being built. I mean, talk about a massive bet on what's to come.
So you gotta ask, right? What is going on here? What's fueling this insane level of pre-launch excitement? Is it all just wild speculation, or is there something real, something substantial getting everyone so fired up? All right, to get to the bottom of this, we've got to go back in time a little bit, to the period right before the big launch. This was the critical build-up phase, and believe me, the numbers from back then, they tell a pretty interesting story. Okay, so at the heart of all this action is something called the Night token. Now, this token belongs to a project called Pulse, and Pulse is designed to be built on a brand new blockchain called Midnight. So you see what's happening? All that trading, all that money moving around was for a token on a network that wasn't even officially live yet. The mainnet, as they call it, was still just an idea. It was one giant bet on the future.
And look, it wasn't just the trading volume going wild. The source material here shows that the whole community was blowing up. We're talking more followers on social media, more people actually holding the token, and engagement just skyrocketing. You know, these are the classic signs that you've got real, genuine interest brewing, not just bots or empty hype. And then the team drops this little teaser, this question. It was their way of hinting at what they were really all about. See, they weren't trying to be just another crypto project. They were aiming for something bigger, to be leaders in what's called privacy-focused decentralized finance, or privacy DeFi for short. Now, what does that mean? Basically, it's the idea that you can do all your financial stuff on the blockchain, but without broadcasting all the details to the world. And for a lot of people, that kind of privacy is a huge deal. So all this buzz, all this speculation, it was all leading up to one single massive moment, the launch of the Midnight mainnet. And after all that waiting, the day finally came. And the way they announced it, super simple, no big fanfare, just it's official. A straight-up confirmation that the core technology, the Midnight mainnet, was live. That was it. That was the green light the entire community had been holding its breath for. Now, this launch wasn't the end of the story, not by a long shot. It was actually just one really important piece of a much bigger puzzle. Think of it like this. The pre-launch hype was step one. Getting the Midnight mainnet live, that's step two. That's the foundation. So what's next? Well, the big one. Launching the Pulse project itself right on top of this brand new network. Okay, so the platform is up and running, but here's the $1 million, or I guess the $600 million question. Did all that hype actually turn into real activity once the switch was flipped? Well, the numbers don't lie. The data tells a pretty amazing story, actually. The day after the mainnet launch, the trading volume for the Night token didn't just hold steady, it grew. It jumped from that initial $500 million all the way up to almost $600 million. So yeah, the hype was definitely turning into real, hard market action. And you know, what's really important to remember here is that behind all the market buzz, the team was laser focused on the tech. They were busy in the background, making sure the new network was becoming more stable every single day. They were getting all the plumbing, all that infrastructure ready for the main event, the actual launch of Pulse. And they were masters at keeping that anticipation high. They just kept using this simple little phrase, "we're almost ready," with that clock emoji. It kind of became their signature signal to the community, basically saying, hey, get ready, that last piece of the puzzle is about to click into place. So that brings us right to the future. Now that the Midnight network is live, it's stable, we can finally get a clear look at what the grand plan is. What is the ultimate vision for Pulse, this project that's going to live on this new platform? And let me tell you, their vision is not small. They're ambitious. Pulse wants to be the go-to spot for basically all financial activity on the Midnight network. So if you're looking to trade stablecoins, or if you want to jump on new tokens launching in this new private ecosystem, well, Pulse wants to be the only name you need to know. So how are they planning to pull this off? Well, their game plan is built on what they call 6 pillars. It's all strategy. You've got things like being totally transparent with open source code, having all the essential trading features you'd expect, plus this really cool ability to turn privacy features on or off. But, and this is key, they're also building in some really powerful reasons for you to get involved. Like, if you stake your tokens, basically lock them up to support the network, you get a cut of the revenue. Or if you provide liquidity, which is just providing the funds that make trading possible, you earn rewards. See, it's all designed to pull people in and create this massive, thriving, privacy DeFi world.
And that brings us full circle, right back to the beginning. But now the question is so much bigger. The initial hype, that was all about a single token. But now that the project is shifting from just hype to a real live platform, the real question, the one the team themselves are asking, is just how much of the entire DeFi universe will be pulled into this new private ecosystem. And that, my friends, is a multi-billion-dollar question for sure.